Phillips, and I am a docent, I guess you'd call me a docent, at the Elmer Kroll Barn at the Brooks Academy Museum. And I carve and demonstrate to visitors as they come in and answer all their questions. And we have a lot of good times here. Today, I'm going to show you how to make one of these decoys. So, this is the final outcome of all the work that's put into making a decoy. I've hand painted it, I've carved it. I started out with a block of wood, and it's hollow, and it's a working decoy. The reason why it is a working decoy is because you can see I have them painted in here. These are the wing tips. Normally, in my more decorative type, these wing tips would be sticking up like this. Now the reason why I'm not going to do that with this particular piece that I'm working on here is because I want to make another working decoy. The working decoy, this is made so that the anchor line does not get fetched up on these wingtips. You just have a sweeping line going down like that. Now, this is the after results, and this is the before results. I've just started this. These decoys, I call them blocks, take around 85 hours to make. That's an estimate, average. I would like to explain to you how I've come up with this shape. This is the body of the decoy, and I take a block. This is the same tree right here, and I haven't squared it off on my bandsaw and made it and cut it to the dimensions needed, but I can explain to you what I have to do. First of all, like I say, cut this on the bandsaw to the dimensions I need. On the top of the block, I put the top profile of the body. And then these are templates that I've made. And then I take and use the side template on the side of the block. I line them up exactly so that when you're cutting out the profiles, you get all of the shape in, and you're not cutting off like the front or the back of it. And then I get together a nice little piece of wood for the head. It's just a profile of the head. And I mount it on an armature. And then I can carve this separately. First of all, I'd like to explain about the wood that I'm going to use. This particular piece of wood is a piece of white pine from a big old tree that fell down in a big windstorm up in New Hampshire. And I was able to salvage a bunch of it. And there is something that every carver should really look at before they start, is the grain in the wood. I was fortunate enough to be able to cut this block, which comes out of a piece. This is a piece of the same tree right here. So that the growth rings run like this all the way through. And you can see the pattern on the top and the sides. This will carve evenly on both sides. And I'll put it on my drill press and hollow it out. The reason why these are hollowed out, a lot of the commercial hunters used to ask the carver to hollow them out because they have to carry a bunch of these, and it cut down on the weight. And it also made it more buoyant, and it also stopped the wood from checking, splitting open, which would ruin the decoy. Because this is all void in here, and there's nothing, there's no wood expanding and contracting. This vise is the same vise that Elmer Kroll used. We were fortunate enough to be able to get this when we restored this barn. So, first tool to be used is the draw knife. Try to keep this pretty sharp. And you take it and take off the wood quickly, like that. Now what I'm doing here is just the preliminary shaping. I'm going to have to come in, see how this back is like that, and then it dips down. A lot of this has to come out because this will be where the wing folds, and this is where the fold is right in here. So I got to carve out a lot of this right in here. So I'm going to continue carving here, and I'm going to use this little spoke shave for a while, like I was doing before. I like to switch back and forth because you can get ahead of yourself if you just use this guy here, because it removes so much in one stroke, and if you're not careful, you could go too far with it. I've got to leave some of the original surface here because this is where the head is mounted, and I want a nice flat surface to attach to. So I've gone far enough into this. I shouldn't go any further. That's where the head's going to be set in, right about like that. This is like the chest of the body. After I get everything roughed out with my draw knife, I go back and I start chip carving with this. But as you can see, it takes time and patience. You have to really enjoy doing this, because it does take time. And bit by bit, it'll come together. See, you have to work right down the side. I have to get rid of all that flat and make it part of the curve of the wings coming over the sides of the body. So eventually this is going to curve down, and that'll be about the high point right about there. And then it'll start going in again. When I add the board, the bottom, which is right, this piece right here, this will be all carved off. And it will meet the curve on the side, and give it a nice rounded shape. every once in a while you have to take this block and hold it away from you and look at it and say, okay, I need to take more off in that area. That's enough out of that area. And a little bit of intuition goes along with it. And you just have to think about the final outcome and how it should look, and then remove the wood accordingly. And after I get this thing chip carved out, I'm going to take a block with some 80 grit sandpaper and sand this by hand and smooth it out real nice. And when I'm happy with that results, I can go ahead and prime the whole piece with just white primer before I start painting. All the feathers, all the markings, so it resembles the species I'm trying to depict. The techniques that Elmer used for painting are they're still trying to figure out how he did it. That's why he is called a master carver, because of his beautiful technique of painting the feathers on birds. And you look at them just a few feet away, and you swear you're looking at feathers. And it's just the way he did it.
Thank you for joining us for part 1 of our video series on the artistry of bird carving. We will be releasing new videos as we journey through the process of carving a decoy with museum docent and carver Paul Phillips. You can watch Paul carve in the Elmer Croll Barn in season, June through October, on Mondays and Tuesdays. For more information about the Harwich Historical Society, the Brooks Academy Museum, and the Elmer Croll Barn, visit us at www.harwichhistoricalsociety.org.